A leaker has allegedly revealed the identity of the Sith character in Leslie Headland's The Acolyte series. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And this is from YouTuber Script Trooper. He reveals that in an upcoming episode of The Acolyte, that the upcoming Sith character will be none other than Manny Jacinto's Chimere or Chimere. It's kind of obvious, but this is what he has to say here. You can see this footage here that he shared. Let's hit the play button here. Zooms in. Zooming in again. And
so
scrolling up. There it is. There is Manny Jacinto's Chimere, unmasked. Smilo Ren, unmasked. That is indeed who the Sith will be in Leslie Headland's upcoming The Acolyte, or at least in one of the upcoming episodes of The Acolyte. One would assume it'll be tomorrow night's episode of the show. And honestly, this is not surprising at all. Come on, who else could it have been if you've been watching this show? There's literally no one else it could have been. And if it was someone else, it would have been completely out of the blue and just another garbage piece of writing. Chimere is the only one who knew exactly where the Wookiee Jedi's Kalnaka's base was and was guiding May to it in the show's 4th episode. And then in the show's 2nd episode, right after he's trying to escape the Jedi here, which the screenshot shows, May tries to attack him and stab him with one of her butter knives that killed Trinity. In the 1st episode, he's able to easily kind of dodge it. And then, in fact, he's actually able to turn her own blade against her, and he pins her up against the wall and basically is almost about to put the knife to her throat. So clearly much stronger than May, who one would assume has some kind of training in the Force. At least that's what the Jedi believe, and that's why they are hunting her down. So it's pretty obvious that this is who it is. So this is just kind of confirmation that who it was. And we did kind of have this heavily hinted at in this interview by Nerds of Color. The interview, I think, kind of gives it away when she asks this question. She says, with Star Wars in general, there's a duality to it. There's, Sith and Jedi, good and bad, emotions and no emotions. And for your Chimere, there's no allegiance. We don't know where he lies. May and Osho, which we're allowed to talk about, there's a duality between them. What can you guys tell me about your characters and their relation to this black and white spectrum of duality? So implying that there's some kind of duality within Chimere, that he's obviously got something else going on, but we can't talk about that. But we can talk about May and Osha. Obviously, you've got Chimere now, and whatever they're going to name this Sith, obviously he's being colloquially described as Smilo Ren because of his helmet that he is wearing. And then Manny Jacinto kind of actually goes on and even talks about it here a little bit. He hints at this, saying, I guess perhaps we'll find out what his allegiance is towards the end, or maybe there is no allegiance at all. Maybe he just creates his own path. Obviously, I think there's some hint that he's clearly on the dark side of things. So there's a little bit more answers here too, where he kind of teases at this stuff. But that seems to be what we've got here. Manny Jacinto's Chimere is indeed Smilo Ren. And we have this footage here, seemingly confirming it from YouTuber Script Trooper. So shout out to him for getting this information and sharing it out there. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.